Three police officers in Tacoma, Washington are facing trial today for the killing of Manuel Ellis, a man who died in restraints on a street corner in 2020, a little more than 2 months before George Floyd was murdered by a police officer in Minnesota. But you might not know the story of 33-year-old Manuel Ellis. Hi, my name is Peter Talbot, and I'm a criminal justice reporter for the News Tribune. Manuel Ellis was walking home the night of March 3rd, 2020 from a 7-Eleven when a bystander's video showed officers Christopher Burbank and Matthew Collins punching Ellis and throwing him to the ground. Within an hour, the man was dead, having been beaten, tasered, held to the ground on his stomach with his legs tied to his handcuffs and knelt on. A spit hood was also put over his head. Audio from a nearby home's doorbell captured Ellis saying, "Can't breathe," and it caught police's response, "Shut the f*** up, man." Ellis, a black man, was unarmed during the encounter. Burbank and Collins are white, and the third officer charged in his death, Timothy Rankin, is Asian American. The officers have said they saw Ellis trying the door of a vehicle, and after they asked if he was okay, he started punching their patrol car. Burbank hit Ellis with his door to stop him, and when he and his partner got out, they said Ellis fought them with superhuman strength. Findings from an autopsy released that summer showed that Ellis died of a form of oxygen deprivation, and the Pierce County medical examiner later ruled it a homicide. Washington State Governor Jay Inslee ordered an independent investigation team to look into Ellis' death, and in 2021, the Office of State Attorney General Bob Ferguson charged Burbank and Collins with second-degree murder and first-degree manslaughter. Rankin faces a manslaughter charge. More than 3.5 years later, a jury trial for Burbank, Collins, and Rankin is getting underway. Meanwhile, all three defendants have kept their jobs as officers on paid administrative leave, collectively taking in more than $1 million in salary. Police Chief Avery Moore has indicated he won't decide whether to fire them until after their trial. Based on what I've read in court filings, it seems like the cause of Manuel Ellis' death will be a sticking point in the trial. His death by oxygen deprivation was complicated by other factors, including drugs in his system and heart disease, both of which have been latched onto by experts retained by the defense as evidence that Ellis died not because of the police, but because of his drug use and underlying health conditions. Family members of Manuel Ellis have been open about the fact that he was an addict in recovery who suffered from mental health issues. He also has a criminal history with several felony convictions. Before he died, he was living in a clean and sober house, working to turn his life around. Beyond that, Manuel Ellis was a father to 2 children. He grew up in Tacoma, went to high school here, and had a talent for music. On the night he died, he played drums at a church revival. He called his former girlfriend and a couple of friends, video chatted with his mom, and hung out with his roommates. Then he walked to 7-Eleven, and he never came home. You can follow the trial at thenewstribune.com for daily information, and every Friday I'll be here with an update from the trial.